Welcome back to The Edge. New businesses are opening now at a pre-pandemic level. Verifying on your business may have gotten a little bit more difficult, maybe even having to get a passport. How can you help Ukraine? Why not hire an SEO or PPC specialist? You're listening to News from The Edge for the week of March 7th, 2022, here on Edge, the web radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
Welcome back to The Edge. I'm Aaron Sparks, your host here. Owner of Site Strategics, a digital marketing firm based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. We're covering SEO and digital marketing each and every week, separate from our weekly interviews and guest specials. So check that out over at edgeofthewebradio.com, edgeofthewebradio.com for all of our recent shows. This is the Site Strategics news desk of Edge of the Web Radio, and we're proud to have Site Strategics as the title sponsor of the show. Our digital marketing team is excellent at results-based agile marketing. So if you want to talk a little bit more about that with us, give us a shout at 877-SEO for Web. We'll talk a little bit more about what we do in the show as well, but just wanted to tee that up. And I gotta thank him, but it's more of like a self-inflicted abuse each and every week. It's Mordy Oberstein. He's the head of SEO branding at Wix, and we just got to keep on bringing him in. It's like slamming your hand in the door each and every week, you know?
Pew, 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 pew. I'm here.
Maybe that's probably not the best intro I ever given you, have I?
I mean, I'm flattered, really. Like, yeah, we would kind of lose you. We can't at this point. It's kind of just like force a habit. It's like, cigarettes. I'd rather give them up, but I'm taking another drag.
Here's another drag of Morty. Okay, right. So I got schooled on Twitter over the weekend by Alan Blywise.
Oh yeah, you got nailed. Did he really unfollow you?
No, he didn't.
Okay, because that would have been amazing.
Oh my Lord! He got banned for a few days on Twitter.
He was like, "Yeah, can you reply back to Nati and tell him this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, Alan." I kind of feel like he got banned for going after Putin, which is ridiculous.
Right.
So like literally like fake Russian news can be on Twitter, but Alan bashing Putin can't be on Twitter.
Exactly.
This makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So he got banned, he got kicked, but he got back in. And if you haven't followed Alan,
Alan Blywise, case we only mentioned his first name, Alan Blywise.
Alan Blywise.
OG.
Yeah, he is.
I said, oh God.
He's not the original. He's just
he's amazing.
He is.
You must follow him because it's just an amazing stream of amazingness.
And the memes are great too, right? So
it's like endless. It's so good.
So I'm lifting him up because I'm saying, oh my gosh, I kind of like this new evolution of Alan. He just doesn't give a crap, and he goes, you know what? Yeah, I just started following you. Why are you trying to kiss my ass? I'm just going to unfollow him just because. It's like, hold on a second. Guy was just trolling me. I don't know what was going on there.
It's amazing. It's like it's amazing. I love talking to Alan.
He's got a sharp wit. So track him down. He's excellent.
Like okay, Alan has an amazing background.
He's
been doing this for a long time. He's the person that SEOs who big name SEOs, just like a funny way to express this, but like SEOs who know their stuff will go to Alan to learn how to audit.
Very cool.
OG, like legit OG.
I wouldn't know it from how badly he abused me. I mean, I'm just
OG at that too.
Yeah, we do. I mean, he is sharp, and he's continually contributing into SEO chat as well. So follow him, but be careful how you actually follow him because he'll turn around and bite you in the neck.
Oh yeah.
All right. So how you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me again.
Of course. You settled into Wix again. You're over there, and
like an old glove.
Good team over there.
Unless it's OJ's old glove, in which case not like an old glove.
Wow, we just can't edit enough out of this stuff, you know that?
I still think OJ jokes are hilarious, by the way.
All right. Well, we wanted to get back into the news, and thank everybody for contributing into last week. As we wanted to pause and talk about what was happening in this incredible war right now. We do have some show links that we want to be able to share with you on the site. So go over there of how you can help Ukraine. But we did want to grab a hold of the news and keep on trudging ahead here, and certainly shout support for everybody that's suffering right now in the war. Just have a look at the first article that we wanted to pull up, because this is actually kind of a retrospective of how screwed up the last 2.5 years have been. From Search Engine Land, from George Wynn over there. New business openings nearly match pre-pandemic levels, says Yelp. New business openings in year two of the pandemic were only down 1% from the year before the pandemic in 2019, according to Yelp's COVID-19 second anniversary report. Demand for socially distant and outdoor options also remains above pre-pandemic levels for dining and other activities. But the new year openings rebounded in year two here from 457 business openings. That was year one, and that was down 14% compared to pre-pandemic. And now we're at 521,926 new business openings on Yelp, down only 1% compared to 2019. So businesses are opening in major cities have actually varied a bit. While new business openings rose nationally, the Delta and the Omicron variants resulted in decreased business openings in nearly all of the largest metropolitan areas across the country, said Yelp. So this is fantastic news. It's great to be able to see that we're pushing back and some level of normalcy is coming back. But there's also a lot of different options that are cropping up with these business openings. Like we said, outdoor dining attribution has also grown every month since the pandemic began, reaching almost 26,000 in January 2022. Over 1,200 businesses on Yelp have adopted a contactless payment attribute since the introduction in 2020. So thoughts about what we're reporting here, Mordy, as we're kind of bouncing back from this?
I mean, look, it's what we talked about, I think, on this very podcast months ago, right? That COVID is going to change the landscape, not just during the pandemic, or, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be endemic. Is it endemic? Are we at that point yet?
Not yet.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, Jim. I'm an SEO. Damn it, Jim.
You're gonna pull that one off a lot better. You know that if you practiced it. So come on.
I'm sorry. Can we run that back? Damn it, Jim. I'm not a doctor.
No,
I'm an SEO.
I like to see the car crash right here. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. But it's going to look curbside pickup. I don't want to talk to. First off, this is great for. I don't want to talk to people, which is me. I don't want to talk to people.
Yep.
I want to show up, put the stuff in my car, and drive away. Also known as curbside pickup.
Absolutely.
All those things, they're going to be part of the commerce fabric. Now it's going to be interesting to see like where things end off. I don't think we have any good data on this yet, but where things end off digitally, because there was a huge spike. Businesses when openings went down, there was a huge spike in websites opening up, right? People going digital. That seems the trend that, I was looking at SEMrush data a while back on this a few months ago. The trend seems to be that it's going back towards pre-pandemic levels, as I mentioned on this podcast before. We don't know where it's going to end off yet. So there's still a lot of uncertainty around what the digital landscape is going to look like and how people are going to behave now that you have businesses opening up, meaning now the world's opening up again. Where does digital fall? Because I don't think it'll be where it was pre-pandemic, which is a good thing. I think it'll be higher than that. But obviously, I don't think it'll be the levels of digital activity that we saw during the pandemic, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, to capitalize on that, I think you're right, obviously, but I do think we have gone into a new hybrid model. I hate to say it, but tips are going to change here as well as curbless really takes hold, because there's a lot of behavioral things that are changing in society, as it's a lot easier just to drive up, picks up something up. We did that for Valentine's Day a couple weeks back, but my thoughts go towards the digital savvy consumer, which there are more and more of, right? And they're getting trained on the digital activity of the ones that are keeping it up and keeping it updated. I think you're going to be looking through brand goggles here very soon, as whether or not the COVID's there or not, the digital activity is going to truly distinguish one business as opposed to another business. Safety is one concern, but if the business can actually communicate through your phone, basically, to what's happening, what's in the stock. There was a number of things that were being actively represented over the last 2 years on the Google business profile space. I don't think consumers are going to forget that at all. I think they're going to be looking for that new activity with regularity. Boy, that was a long-winded sentence. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you 100%. The web is maturing. I think for a lot of reasons. I think
I
it's
could
a lot
have
of
just said that. Web's maturing. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm here. That's why you can't get rid of me. You see things like, I think things around, let's say, Facebook going before Congress or Google going before Congress creates a lot of skepticism.
Right.
The whole ad targeting thing creates a lot of, so people are actively aware. Hey, is this fake? Is this not fake? Is Amazon review? Is this fake? I'll give you a good example of what you're talking about, where businesses need to be upfront about what they offer, how it all works, and then communicate. So there are 2 grocery stores that I'll order from online. One of them will, if they don't have a product, will call you up on the phone and ask you, do you want to switch out the 1% milk that we didn't have to the 3% milk? I'm like, are you going to give me a heart attack? What's your problem here? The other one will do the same thing, but they'll send you a text message where you can switch the product. I don't have to speak to anybody. It's just a message that says, this product's unavailable. Would you like this one instead? And I click yes. So that level of communication, again, where I don't think I I cannot state this highly enough. People do not want to talk to you as a business. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want a message saying, do you want to switch this? Yes. But I don't want to actually talk to anybody.
I'm so glad you have a podcast.
No, but I'm talking to everybody here.
As a consumer, you don't want to have personal interactions with that business. You want to transact with that business, right?
Yeah, but I want to be notified. And they'll also send me a message as opposed to the one that calls me instead of sending me the message. They don't do this. The one that sends me the text message and lets me switch it out, keep track of my grocery shopping, people. They will tell me your order is now being packed. Your order is now on its way.
Yep.
So like, I know, like, I'll be honest, like, I only know, like, hey, you know what, crap, I'm all out of, like, you know, like turkey slices. So, but I know the order's on its way. I'll hold off on eating that peanut butter sandwich and wait for the turkey slices. Huh?
That's a visual I just can't get out of my
How's
head.
that for psychotic?
Well, I think what you're talking about here is with the digital systems, you now are actually grooming even a greater antisocial behavior.
I call it more efficient. No, man, look, I'm at work. No, seriously, I'm in a meeting. Like, I have like meetings all day long. I don't want someone calling up. Like, yeah, do you want to switch like the Skippy peanut butter for the Jif? No.
But the sheer fact that's there. I mean, systems have been organically grown during the pandemic, and now we're actually going to be in a new space where those systems, like just like you're talking about, will be even more groomed to a degree. Whether or not the person wants a direct phone call or a text message, those options are going to be available. And the brand that actually has those available compared to the shopping mart that hasn't done anything and they think they're back to normal, they're going to be able to benefit in the near future, right?
Look, it's like, okay, the thing with like digital space, I think in general, psychologically speaking, it's made us all like really neurotic, more neurotic than we were before.
Right.
Right. Because like I need, like, for example, like imagine back in the day, I don't know, you had a medical condition. So you went to the doctor, you needed information, maybe you went to the library. Now you're like, oh, I got to check this up. I got to read this. You get very anxious, right? Because the information is very immediate. So you expect a certain immediacy. You expect to know, okay, something shipped. I want to know where it is, when it's coming, what its current status is, all these kind of things. And if you don't have that, because we're psychologically built for that now, you become anxious. Like maybe they screwed it up.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't prove a negative, but you're conditioned that way. And yeah, the brands have
marketing,
fill in the gap. Yeah.
SEO, it's all psychology. Like fundamentally, it all comes down to how people behave and what they want, which is psychology.
And how you can train behavior and how you can actually elicit certain types of behavior. Absolutely.
What's that?
And how you, don't you dare.
See what I did there? I
see.
Yeah. Morty's dog. That's terrible. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I'm going to keep that one. Okay.
Ding.
Yes, Morty. All right. That's enough of that. All right. Going over to our second article. We're going to move away from that weirdness and go into some more weirdness. Google may actually require double verification for some business profiles. This is from Search Engine Land by Barry Schwartz. That's a Pavlovian right there. Every time I say Barry Schwartz, a bell should be ringing right there.
We'll run out
He
of
gets
bells.
$1 every time every article we use. No, we give him $1.
We'll buy him a cup of coffee. How about that? Google has updated its document on how to verify your business in Google Business Profiles, or Mordy may call it Google My Business, or I don't know, MySpace, who knows? And add that to Google. You may actually require you to verify by more than one method. This is related to some fraudulent business profiles that have been created using just the one verification method. So previously, they have been offering verification for phone or text, email, video recording, live video call, and postcard. Now, the double verification that's in place may actually require not just one more verification method. They actually have a screenshot on that where it actually is expanding into a set of bullets regarding multiple verifications. Maybe a passport, blood sample, who knows? Stefan Somborak, who spotted this on Twitter, said maybe this will lead to a stricter verification process, which is actually needed because there is so much spam inside of Google My Business. Oh, see, he's got me doing it. He didn't even say it. That's how much he's in my head now.
I can't even get it right.
Phonetically, it does not work, or whatever.
I can't even get it out of my mouth. By the way, everyone at Wix is like the same thing. Like, we'll just call it G and be like, I can't. Because we have something interesting coming around verification soon. Anyway, little floater.
All right.
All right. Not that kind of floater.
Oh my Lord.
We edited that one out.
Oh, all right. So verification. Let's talk about that.
They are getting more creative, Google. Like, for example, like now you can do like a video, send that in. You know, here's my sign, here's the store, whatever it is.
Yep. So Google has not commented on on this most recent change. It's hard to know for sure why Google added that line. Yeah, no, it's not, because there's so much claptrap out there. But there does need to be a tighter verification. I still get back to the same spot. If you actually try to solicit and try to grab a hold of a Google business profile, right, the opportunity to steal that is still on the side of the solicitor, because if you don't respond to that access, you can actually lose that profile. So one of the biggest things in this entire mess is you got to have a verification process of unlocking that, so it just can't walk off the edge of the cliff there because nobody's watching an email for 5 days or whatever that small period of time is. That's just ridiculous.
It's interesting. I'm surprised that Google doesn't look like there are registries of businesses. Like you have to register. Like, I mean, I don't know. There are organizations or companies that do this, that they're not using that. But
anyway,
but whatever it's gonna be, it beats postcards. That's technologically advanced.
Exactly. Make sure you have a landline, please.
Ever told you my idea with postcards?
Your idea?
Like you set up a business, and you're like, and the name of the business, like, hi Aaron, happy holidays. And then the address is your address, and they send you a postcard to verify. So you just saved money on a stamp.
These are the things he's thinking about.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you can like literally like send like holiday cards. Have Google send out all of your holiday cards.
Happy holidays.
like,
I'd like to verify that you still live here.
There's your business card.
Hi, I'm in Italy. Just wanted to say hello.
Please type in this code.
Right? What's the business address? Whatever your address is.
Oh my gosh.
Your
You might want to cook that one for a little longer. I'm just saying.
I've always wanted to do that, like to John Mueller, like find his address.
You're gonna dox?
Like,
you're gonna dox John Mueller?
No, I mean, like, hey John, happy birthday, and like the address is like that's the business name, and have him Google.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. It's just not really good. That's all I'm saying.
It's great.
All right, you know what's great is having Site Strategics as a title sponsor of Edge of the Web. We're pioneers in the agile digital marketing methodology. Our core specialties are technical SEO, core web vitals, SEM, social media marketing, as well as conversion rate optimization, and getting postcards verified to your address. It'll even create new businesses for you. How about that? We've also developed a unique omni-channel media marketing and content curation process, which we've learned here from Edge of the Web. We build our studios here in Indianapolis to be able to actually curate content content, transcribe, and utilize subject matter experts to be able to guide our marketing content. So if you're interested in what that looks like, give us a shout over at our Legacy 800 number, 877 SEO for Weber, 877-736-4932, or just go to the website, sitestrategics.com, and let us know that you'd like to talk to us a little bit about what we do over here. Or just send us a postcard or a fax. We'll take faxes too. Actually, I haven't tested that since I've changed that. I don't know if we take faxes anymore. We did for such a long time.
We're finally advertising. We are finally advertising faxing, and we probably aren't getting them.
Exactly.
There's so many business opportunities that are being missed because someone's like, well, they didn't answer their fax machine.
Well, look, they don't have a digital space yet. They don't have a website or Google My Business profile. I know it's not called Google My Business, and the only way to reach out is
fax.
Fax.
Fax your QR code to us today. All right. We want to make sure that you know a couple of bit of housekeeping tips here. This week, we're talking to Mark Traphagen and Mittel Gandhi in our second episode with the team leaders from SEO Clarity. Want to make sure you join the newsletter. It's getting a revamp, and we're packing a lot more information into that for your work week in digital marketing. So sign up at edgeofthewebradio.com for that free newsletter. And we want to make sure that you have all the links on how to help Ukraine. We covered some of the things happening from a digital marketing perspective last week, but more importantly, we're going to cover how you can help regularly. So go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/Ukraine to get directly there for some helpful links. But stay tuned as we're going to keep information available through the podcast here. We're also proud to have InLinks as a sponsor of Edge of the Web. Did you know that entities play a major role in how search engines understand and rank content on the web? Optimizing your content around keywords is not a thing anymore. It's time to add entities into the mix and reach higher rankings using InLinks and award-winning software in entity SEO. So if you want to learn more about what InLinks do, they actually provide expert-level data to be able to build your content around any keyword so that Google can actually have a better understanding of what the context of your articles are. So check out edgeofthewebradio.com/InLinks today, INLINKS, to claim your free InLinks account and start creating content that will outperform your competitors. Lastly, I want to take a break here before we get into some of the most important news here is, hey, this past weekend was Batman, and I didn't have a poll this week, so I wanted to pivot around because Mordy asked me about how Batman was, and it was fantastic with an exclamation point. Mordy's just
you really been higher register with that.
I honestly did. I went to a higher octave. It was awesome. It was great. It truly was probably one of the best, if not the best, Batman movies of the franchise. It's an actual detective movie as opposed to an origin movie, and it was actually based on year one from the graphic novel. So yeah, check that out. But I highly recommend it. You guys who have not seen it over the weekend, I saw it twice. I was abusing myself that much. But hey, I'm a big Batman fan, right?
Clearly, you went to the movies twice.
I did, and it's a 3-hour movie. I mean, I
haven't even seen Matrix 4 twice yet.
Family didn't see you for like days.
Dude, I still have Matrix 4 actually tattooed on my eyeballs, and I saw it once.
See, that's dedication right there.
That is a
visual
I can't get out of my head.
A nice Matrix 4 tattoo. I like this idea.
All right, so I'm going to swing for the fences here and ask our listeners, go to Twitter and jump into our poll. Who is the best Batman? Is it Robert Pattinson? Is it Batfleck? Is it Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, or Bat Nipples, George Clooney? How about that?
Is Adam West not in that?
And Adam West, come on.
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't you? But also,
he's the OG.
In a Twitter poll?
Yeah.
You have that many options in a Twitter poll?
Oh, crap. We only have 4 options, right? 4 or 5?
Pretty sure. I think it's 4. I don't know.
Well,
I never
check out the poll to see what we end up giving you as options.
Boy, we're really organized here. Not only did we completely botch the poll, went with Batman. We don't even know what options you have.
What's funny is this how we're all pretending that this was a mistake, but it was always the plan to make everyone go look at the poll to find out what the options are.
And verify it with a business card or with a postcard, right?
That's what people are dying to do.
Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly. All right. So let's swing around to our last article here. And this was actually a very important article. How to help the Ukraine. There are some Ukraine SEO and PPC specialists that are seeking work. This is from Search Engine Land over with Danny Goodwin. And then an SEO entrepreneur has created 2 resources, one for job seekers, the other for employers with digital vacancies willing to help and hire Ukrainians. Here's the deal, is that we know where we are right now, and we don't know what in the world's happening. But we do certainly know that we want to help Ukraine as much as possible. We discussed some things last show, but Olisa Korobka, she actually has rolled out 2 Google Sheets, which she's been sharing widely to our community via social media over the last few days here. There's a job looking for jobs or gigs from the Ukraine. More than 90 search marketers have actually been added to that list. And digital vacancies for Ukrainians, about 20 companies have added information about roles they're looking to fill, details about their company, and contact information. So we're going to be able to throw those out on social as well as on the site links on the show notes here. So give us some information if there's things that you want to have lifted up in social media. Let Edge of the Web know, and we certainly are focused on the individuals that are showcasing some incredible things that are happening on the grounds, including Tim Solo from Ahrefs. There's so much information that's coming out. We're a little bit astounded that Twitter's kicking people off that actually are anti-Putin, but all things being
Alan might have went a little bit far knowing Alan, but yeah.
Yeah. But it is great to be able to
point.
see on Twitter that we have this much relevant information, although Russians are not getting this information. They're not seeing these things on Google. They're not seeing these things through Twitter or Facebook. It's all being banned. So the Russian people don't know what atrocities are happening right here. So as much as we can, we got to lift it out and be able to showcase what's happening. More thoughts about what we've been experiencing and what you've been seeing on social?
I mean, I'm a little bit freaked out what's going on lately. I'm like very, very scared about what's happening. There seems to be I'm not I don't know. I'm not Peter Jennings.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm really scared of what's happening. I know the point about the Russian people not being able to see things.
Mm-hmm.
If they do a VPN, they are able to. So
Yep.
A lot of people I think do have a VPN, so they do see it. So it's worthwhile.
They see it, but what we also see is that
some people, not a lot.
The European and the Western civilization is still allowing this to happen, and that's the tough thing.
I'm really I mean, if you want me to go off, you want a Mordy take on this?
Always.
How many times? How many times? Because I'm a history buff. Like I used to be a history teacher. I majored in history at my bachelor's, kind of. How many times throughout history do you have to see dictators come in?
Right.
And the Western world in particular, so naive. Think like, all right, well, we'll put sanctions on them, and that'll stop. Has it really stopped anybody?
Nope.
It's amazing to me, and you see it. This is what scares me. You see it slowly creeping. Now the U.S. is talking about sending planes to replenish the Polish Air Force, who's going to send planes to the Ukrainians.
Mm-hmm.
It's like inching towards things that and you see like the Russians are just, Putin is just indiscriminately bombing
areas that were of no focus, no metropolitan focus. Literally now they're just bombing small towns and where there's like literally no help.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And then now you have the U.S. talking about, I haven't watched the news at all today yet, but you have the U.S. talking about, okay, so we're going to limit or stop Russian oil supplies.
Right. Which
I very much think makes a lot. How do you give money to this guy?
Right.
Right. You're talking about, okay, yeah, sanctions, but here's all the oil money.
You can't. And it shows the duplicitous nature of politics. The thing is, sanctions hurt the Russian people, and this guy doesn't give a crap. There has to be
it's terrible for them.
It is.
Right. The ruble crashed. All the money in their accounts now valueless.
Right.
He's shutting down all the information, shut down the Russian TV stations outside of the state-sponsored ones. Like literally not overnight. That's not true at all. Again, that's another Western naivete. Overnight, all of a sudden.
Nope.
This is going on for years. He's talked about this. Every president since Clinton has completely screwed this up. Trump in particular. I'm very worried. I'm very worried that we're going to end up in a World War III kind of situation. But like, okay, that's me getting nervous. That's my own neuroses.
I think with what we see on the social front and the ignorance and the attempt to not take these issues on directly, all the sanctions, all these securitist ways to try to influence, it's not reaching the point of the matter here. There's a dictator that is killing people, and they have to be stopped, and there has to be a coalition to stop them. That's what we've built, and it's still not.
I personally agree. I'll tell you something. Okay, so there is he survived one of the death camps in Nazi Germany as an 8-year-old. He eventually went on to be Israel's chief rabbi. It's a famous story. And they were asking him about whether or not the world learned from the Holocaust. And his answer was, there are still people starving, there are still people being persecuted, and there's still massive amounts of political aggression being perpetrated every day. So the world has learned nothing. And that's where I'm at with this. How do you Ukrainian people are being slaughtered,
right?
And the world's sitting by with sanctions? To me, it makes absolutely no sense. I'm sorry. Maybe that's wrong. I know there's all sorts of political consequences. I am not a general. I'm not a political strategist. I know just my personal, that's where my heart is. This makes no sense.
Yeah, we're hearing that more and more. And I mean, Jason Bernard said it quite succinctly, that we're recognizing that history will judge this moment right here.
So this is a Neville Chamberlain moment, not as distinct as, okay, we have achieved peace in our times kind of thing.
Right.
But it's de facto that.
Truly is. Truly is. Well, we do want to make sure we lift up everybody, and sharing is one of the most important things you can do. Donations are even more importantly. Make sure that you're donating to a vetted cause in this space. There's certainly people there that are helping out as well. Anton Schulke is certainly helping out in that space. So watch the social media space, and from the marketing standpoint, there's a lot of key players that are lifting up and wanting to share what's going on here. We do want to share with you that we were trying to keep on moving with marketing. There's a lot of things to be talking about. SEO Chat's back this week to make sure that we are doing this on a regular basis. So Jonah Sickler is actually jumping on there. Yeah?
Yeah. You were good. You really keep it up there. Well, look at that.
So what's the topic this week?
Monday's always a super busy day for me, and I always forget to tweet it out. But thank you for reminding me.
This is your reminder, right?
Yeah. So it's how to transform your blog into a content publishing powerhouse.
That's awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Blogs still
will be awesome.
Blogs are still a thing, huh?
I know. I was talking about with Crystal Carter today, over at Wix. We were talking about setting up some webinars, and the person we were talking to was not an SEO person, it's a marketing person who would help coordinate the webinars. It's like, well, this seems like, people who just have blogs. And we're like, first off, everyone has a blog. And if you don't have a blog, you should have a blog. How do you not have a blog? You're just opening yourself up when you're showing, just like a marketing point.
Mm-hmm.
You're showing that you're live, you're active, you're a thought leader.
Yep.
It's almost like not having a blog is the equivalent of having a Google My Business profile. I know it's not called that. Don't care anymore.
This is going to be Mordy's cause. He's going to get them to
I
name
swear.
it
back. and not having it filled out. So an empty shell of itself.
Right.
And obviously you're missing out on all the SEO value of it, but again, showing Google you're live, having the crawling and indexing your site, and again, ranking for things and bringing people into acquisition content, and just really good content to help your users, because they always need help. Oh my God, I just went off on a rant. Sorry about that. But 1 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. Jonah Sickler. Blog Powerhouse.
Blog Powerhouse. All right, that's it for Edge. Thank you very much again for contributing, Mordy. We always appreciate you jumping on there. It's always a ride. That's for damn sure.
Thank you.
Mordy's cause is to get back to GMB. That's where he's going to go.
I will do it.
He just can't pronounce it. All right.
I can't get it out. GBP. Whatever.
All right, that's it for Edge this week. Make sure that you listen to the second part of the Mark Trapagan and Mental Gandhi podcast discussing SEO Clarity and their new application that they've rolled out. It's incredible what they've actually done with optimization and how that can actually join any particular CMS. It's amazing what they've actually tested and rolled out this year. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And hey, we'd love a review. Make sure that you give us a shout over at ratethispodcast.com/edge. And that'll take you straight over to your preferred platforms to rate us. But we'd love to hear from you. Let us know how we're doing on the show. So from all of us, stay safe, especially right now. Stay well, and do not be a piece of cyber drift. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.